So what I wanted to say is that I don't know if you've heard of this. There's this program called geez, everything's hanging now.
Don't
Called
touch it.
Roblox.
No, I haven't.
Okay,
What
I
is
don't know
that
much
about?
about it, but I saw that Vans. So basically, it's an environment where you can create your own virtual worlds,
Yeah.
kind of stuff. And apparently, the kids are into this quite a bit. And I see what's happened is Vans has teamed up with Roblox, and they've created a virtual skate park. And in there, the people are wearing Vans clothing.
That is clever, dude.
Yeah. So it's
That is clever.
yeah. So it's already you can see there's this amalgamation, all these collaborations between these clothing brands or these big brands and these kind of environments. I mean, another thing that I didn't see coming, which is like a bit of a thing with this metaverse thing, is the what's happened there? Let me just kill that. Oh, don't kill that. Let's try that again. Let's do that. Otherwise, Lester gets upset. He's not centered. So so I didn't see this coming. Is that virtual bands? Okay, I heard of real current bands
Yeah.
making suggestions of playing concerts virtually in the metaverse. Okay, I heard about that idea floating around. What I didn't expect was completely virtual musicians being created like from scratch. So it's not like Metallica has decided, okay, they're going to get into the metaverse and they'll have virtual concerts and they'll have these avatars that look like Metallica and they're going to play a concert. Okay.
This is great for gorillas.
Well, no, that was the first band I thought of.
Yeah.
Was the Gorillas. I mean, you know the Gorillas?
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
like completely animated like, kind of thing. Yeah. I mean, it's fantastic for Gorillas. And I mean, this is the thing is you think about it, it's that natural progression for like someone like the Gorillas. But that's not like mainstream kind of, I mean, how many of those bands are around like Gorillas where there's just purely an animated thing?
This is interesting because I just think back, what was it, 10, 15 years ago? When there's a major music artist that tours, they sell out the stadiums that they perform at. So there's a lot more people who want tickets but can't go to the show.
Yeah.
So we started looking at televising it. So it's pay-per-view.
Yes.
Because of surround sound in your living room, you could feel like you're there.
Right.
And
your neighbors can as well.
we just roll up with a satellite dish and a van, and we convert this stream from the stadium into a digital means, which we can distribute around the world. So you can be sitting in a different country, and you can go and watch that concert that night. And the numbers were huge. It was a lot more. Say you can fit 50,000 in a big stadium. There was a lot more than that who wanted to see it.
Yes.
So this suddenly starts paying for itself.
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of didn't go anywhere because at that time the global infrastructure couldn't handle that volume of quality video feed, and digital rights management is always an issue. But now we're starting to put this in this environment. You can be in the stadium.
I mean,
it's good for world.
It's good for everyone.
And
now.
you could have your headset on, and you're
But
in
for
it.
the artist, but for the artist, they sell out crowds of 2 million, 10 million people.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
One
like
concert.
Metallica for the virtual concert most likely will be able to pull in 50 mil easy.
Yeah, sure.
Easy.
Absolutely.
Easy peasy. Yeah. It's like, but the question that's like I had for myself mainly is like, why is virtual and online world so appealing? And I've realized it's because it's very safe. Like from our perspective, right? So the moment
It's open. Nah, it's open to corruption and abuse.
No. I'm not talking about like from that perspective. I'm talking about like from a perspective like, okay, so why don't you want to go shopping? Why do you prefer, going shopping online? Because it's quick, it's efficient, right? But also it's like I don't want to drive to the shop, right? Driving is a dangerous activity here, right? somebody can rear-end you so that your car can get stolen. Going to the shop, like what is like exciting part about going to the shop? Is like absolutely nothing. You spend hours like on your feet
Well, you
looking
can-
for stuff.
But the online shop equivalent of the mall shop has probably got a lot more selection. So you're
Absolutely.
going to spend a lot more time there.
Absolutely.
Whereas in a mall, you can just go, I've had enough of the shop, I'm walking to the next one, bang, into the next one. What's in the window? It draws you in.
Yeah.
This you have to go from website to website if you're shopping at home.
Well, yeah, but I
Takes
mean, when you're in
longer.
the metaverse, you can teleport somewhere,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
Quickly.
There will be
quickly.
a virtual mall.
Yeah. So,
But think about it, the example of dating, for example, sake as well. It's like, why are dating apps popular? Because they remove that personal interaction, right?
yeah,
So
because
like,
I think people that have like sort of some sort of anxiety around meeting new people and all that kind of
I
stuff.
think everyone has that anxiety. to
Yeah,
a
but there's
certain
some
extent.
more than others.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
but like,
sure.
if you make it like that once you remove that face-to-face interaction, it creates a perception of safety, right? Understand Lester's point in terms of like it's
Yeah.
open to corruption.
Yeah, sure.
But it's like if you don't need to deal with the person, you can always like block this individual or switch off the phone or report them and stuff like that, and your problem goes away. You don't need to do it face to face. You don't
Sure.
need to say, okay, go away, or call the police, type of thing.
Yeah.
Right? You can just click the button. That's it. Boom. Like you ghosted that individual. Right? You move on to the next. It's like,
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, but those people can switch avatars and profiles.
oh, sure they
Yeah.
can. Sure they can.
I think one of the biggest drawbacks around those sort of apps is the fact that you can have this catfishing sort of situation. If you have an application that's in the metaverse, on the blockchain, whatever, and you've got some sort of way to verify your identity, right? And when you're interacting in that app, you are only interacting with people that have been verified. I think that is where you're going to find the money,
Definitely.
right? People will
Are
be
you going to make
prepared.
a financial transaction?
People
even a
will be
virtual
prepared to
one?
pay for that. Trust me. People will be prepared to pay for that.
I think we've stumbled across a little niche market which may bear
Yeah,
fruit.
look,
And what
I think the
verification you can
mechanism.
have.
I think the
Blockchain.
key is on how do you get it to verification. Because I mean,
Blockchain.
a lot of these apps do have verification. You're going to send a photo, maybe all that kind of stuff. Yeah. So just going back to the virtual artist thing.
Yep.
And there was a specific reason why I brought it up is because I saw recently that there's this K-pop artist called Yuna that is going to become the metaverse's first virtual K-pop artist. Okay, and it's designed by some Korean K-pop artist agency, and they've got the input from various K-pop stars like BTS and Blackpink. And she will be releasing, Yuna, will be releasing her own album and hosting virtual concerts around the world, right? So this is what we were talking about, okay? So but this is the part that now the blockchain now kicks in, is that the first phase of this whole thing is they're going to have 10,000 limited edition and unique NFT illustrations of Yuna that have been designed by a leading Korean artist. Okay, so the average NFT price, or the average price for one of these NFTs, is 2 Sol, which is 2 Solana. Okay,
Yeah.
so Solana is a cryptocurrency. Its value at the moment is around $215.
Yep.
So 2 Sol would be, what's that? 230.
Like
No,
460.
430, yeah, round about there.
Yeah.
Over $400. Okay.
For a unique NFT.
For a unique NFT.
And
let me
there's only
see here.
10,000 of
I've
them.
got, Lester, I don't know if you can see this. So it's coming up now. Can you see that? So these are what the NFTs look like. This is what you're buying for 2 Sol. So this top left-hand side one, that was 2 Sol. This one on the top right was 9 Sol. And this one at the bottom is 50 Sol. So what's that? 50 times $215. See how much people are paying for just these pictures.
Are you serious?
Yes.
You're not joking.
No, I'm not joking.
Are they
Right?
limited edition?
Limited at what, 10,000 of them. Okay, so if I have a look here, I don't think you're going to be able to read that.
But my question is, this is not a real person, right?
This is not a real person.
This
is
person
done
does not
by,
exist.
This person does not exist. It is created by an agency, a Kpop agency, and they're creating this virtual artist. Okay, and then she's got a full-on bio. She's like, she grew up in Seoul, Korea, and so on and so on, and you know what her dreams and you know what her goals are in life and all that kind of stuff, right? Okay, so what are the benefits of buying these NFTs, right? And this is where things get interesting. Okay, so I don't know if you can read this, but basically what happens is that people that buy these NFTs, right, are going to benefit from this. They will get 10% of the profit of Yuna's first album distributed on a quarterly basis to all holders. 10% of the profit of her first 5 concerts as well as free access distributed on a quarterly basis. 5% of their advertising and streaming profits distributed on a quarterly basis.
That's
Right.
like shares, man.
Exclusive access to an albums and the pre-sale access to the minting of her first song when it's completed in 2022.
But that's like shares, dude. Like,
Well, this
it's
is
like
the
you
thing.
becoming a shareholder.
Yeah, this is the thing. So, I mean, this is what I'm finding
It's a
interesting
syndicate.
about. It's a pyramid scheme.
Pyramid scheme. No, it's not a pyramid scheme because, like, think about it this way: like hypothetically, this digital artist can exist indefinitely, dude.
Yeah. But I mean, it's just.
But it's all in the metaverse. That means the value of it stays there, and it's the first, so it can only appreciate.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, luckiness.
Anyway, so yeah, and then the other thing that I wanted to bring up is virtual YouTubers.
What? How's this gonna work?
Yeah, so there's this YouTuber called Michaela. It was created, I think it's a couple of years ago. These people decided to create this virtual person and create an Instagram account around it, and now she's become a YouTuber. And just to give you an idea of what she looks like, there she is in the middle of what I would imagine are real people, and the person in the center is the virtual YouTuber. So she's got
Is
a
that the
full
second
on,
from left?
yeah. No, third from left, you chop. But the thing is, okay, so here's my question, right? So you've got this YouTuber who's completely virtual. So you've got full control of who this person is. Now we already know what the dangers or some of the downside is behind these sort of influencers or these Instagrammers or these YouTubers or whatever, and they're like projecting out this perfect life. So if I am a YouTuber or an influencer and I'm only posting all the positive stuff in my life, people looking at my profile and thinking, wow, this guy lives an amazing life, right?
Yeah.
Okay. But in reality, there's stuff behind, well, I might not really be having the best life around, but what I project. And people that are seeing that are thinking, oh, no, they're not good enough because they're having normal world problems. And it looks like the bearded Finn is living the best life ever.
Just
right?
always like
living
chilling,
the good life.
chilling, like surfing, motorbiking in the wine region in Western Cape, and it's like,
and then you're looking at look at all the things that he's achieved and all the places that he's traveled and all that kind of stuff. Now, when you're creating that virtually, you can even take that to a next level. How does that? And then, yes, this person is virtual, and yes, they advertise, hey, listen, this is a virtual person. But how many people do you think are just going to look past the fact that it's virtual and be looking at this lifestyle or this person that's projecting? Now, I do understand that it can be done responsibly. the people that are creating this and the content that they're putting out, they could make it. They could be sending it out and making like responsible choices about what they put out there, right? But I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
I'm just scared, like in terms of like, so at the moment, this line between, let's say, this virtual YouTuber and reality is pretty clear. You know, it's like, but once you put this virtual YouTuber in the VR space or AR space,
Yes,
that line disappears.
I agree. I agree.
That line disappears, and you're like, because like anything you interact with over the computer, you know, there's a shadow of doubt that this could be like fake and not real, right? Like any reasonable individual, like I'm talking about reasonable average individual, right?
Sure.
But once you put it in the virtual space, it's like that boundary doesn't exist anymore.
And why do you think that is? Because I mean, if I tell my kids, hey, look at that Instagram profile that you're looking at of a real person, you got to understand that they are only posting the positive stuff that they're doing, not the negative stuff. Even though kids of today have been told that, they still, something happens that they forget that.
Now imagine
Yeah.
that, for example, say your kids are no longer interacting and by pushing the buttons or like scrolling up the cell phone. Now they're interacting with this person in 3D.
No, I agree. But
Like, it's
what's the
us-
difference between the virtual space? Is it something that's
Our
being
our sense of reality. Our sense of reality. Dude.
Yeah.
Like I think our sense of reality completely get messed up. I think if we're not careful, like you're gonna have a large group of population just living in a virtual world. And you saw it with some of the games, like World of Warcraft when it was launched. Like people literally were living in the World of Warcraft, universe.
Yeah, sure.
It's like I knew people that like used to come back home after work, log on, and just log off at 2:00, and then same cycle day after day after day.
Yeah.
And it was like, yeah, dude, like, and they have their virtual lives in that universe. You know, it's like, and some
But was
people even
that-
told me it's like I even prefer my virtual life to like what I'm doing in the real world.
Well, that's going to be a big danger.
Like, what do you think about that?
No,
Like,
no. I think it's going to happen because, I mean, think about it. I think the people that are, let's say, regular Instagrammers. I'm not saying this is everyone, but I think there's a
Yeah.
large portion of people there that live their life through their Instagram profile.
Yeah.
Right. So in other words, they have this like sort of they're putting out this positivity, almost like a toxic positivity in the sense that, as long as the Instagram profile is perfect, doesn't matter what else is going wrong in their life, it's okay. Just as long as they focus everything on their portraying that they've got a positive life, doesn't matter what's happening. They don't have to deal with what's happening in life. I mean, that can have a good and a bad thing. But my question is that like when you put the headset on, I think this is like, for me, this is where it happens. Is like when you put your headset on, does something happen in the brain that just gets short-circuited? Because I don't know if you've put those headsets on the VR, and in the beginning when you put it on, it's like, it feels a bit awkward. It's, okay. And like you realize that you're in this virtual world. After about 10 minutes, dude, like you've forgotten. So when I went and did this VR experience the other day at the Rosebank Mall, so there's a pop-up place there called Soka District, and there's some guys there that have got I think the guy's company is called Meta VR, and he's got a couple of these Oculus headsets, and then you can go there and pay like 100 Rand or like 80 Rand for 15 minutes, 120 Rand for whatever, and you can experience what the VR world is like. So I went and I thought, I haven't done this for a while. Okay, $80 here, 15 minutes. Let me see what it's, where's the technology gone now? Where, what are the applications that are being used in that environment? And like, you went through this tutorial on how to use the controls and everything, and you're picking up and throwing things. You're playing a game, shooting, ding, ding, ding. And then it's, okay, what do you want to try now? Okay, well, table tennis. Let me play table tennis. So, like, after a while, geez, man, it's so accurate. Eventually, you forget that you're actually in that. You're there.
Mm-hmm.
You've forgotten that you're standing in the mall, in a square, in a pop-up district, in a mall, in Rosebank.
Now think about if it wasn't 15 minutes. Think about like
Hours.
how your brain, like hours.
Yeah, no, but that's what I'm saying is that eventually what happens is it all fades and merges into, like, I'm in this world. Whereas in the beginning, the first 5 minutes or first 10 minutes, you're like conscious of the fact, well, there's the separation. But after a while, your brain just goes. So, like when you go watch a movie.
With augmented reality, this becomes a problem because, yes, you'll be walking through Rosebank Mall. You'll be shopping. A T-Rex will come out and try and attack you.
Yeah,
and then you
and I'm in my lounge.
And then you meet your friends.
And I'm in my lounge.
Yeah.
In reality.
Yeah.